This is, like the title said, this is one of the biggest mistakes Call of Duty Vanguard has made yet. What's on, guys? J-Hoy back with you. Today, welcome back to Call of Duty Vanguard. We're back here on ranked play. We got some Bocage gameplay. This is, like the title said, this is one of the biggest mistakes Call of Duty Vanguard has made yet. And I'm not just blaming it on Call of Duty Vanguard and the developers of Vanguard, but I'm blaming it on the developers of Call of Duty Vanguard, because here's the problem. So let's quickly jump over to the live screen here, pause on the gameplay, and focus on something here. So this is Call of Duty Vanguard right now. This is actually a private match, but what we're looking at here is all of the maps. It's a good way to see all the maps in a list, get a picture from the map so you guys know exactly what map I am talking about. So here's the big mistake. The maps, right? If you're trying to look at maps as good playable maps, this game has about 3, maybe 4, but let's go through them, right? So you have Berlin. Not really the greatest of maps, right? Doesn't really play too well. Bocage, as we were playing on before, and we'll get back to it. Arguably my favorite map in this game, but is it a good map? Not really, but it's better than most of them, if you want to call it that. It's a good, if you want to run around with a sub and just fly at people, it's the perfect map for you for hardpoint. Next map, Casablanca. I think I played this map about 3 times ever, and just not a good map. Just not a good map at all. Then you have Castle, which is a remake from, I don't remember which game, but from one of the older Call of Duties. But it's way too big, and it doesn't work with this game, and it just, no, not a good map. Next one, Das Haus. One of those maps that, if it wasn't like 8v8, would be pretty decent. It's a competitive map? No. Just one of those fun, kind of faster paced maps, like a Shipment, which we'll get to later on. Maybe it's more of like an AR map, but like not really. But not really viable for competitive at all. So not really the greatest of maps, but it's a good kind of like warm up, just kind of get your shot going, get fast paced movement in there. But still not the greatest of maps. Another map that I'm kind of a little bit disappointed in, because I thought originally when we were playing the beta and early on in the game that this was going to be one of the competitive maps. And I haven't played this map in a while because I don't really play pubs too much. Like, I usually just play ranked play like all the time. But this was one of the maps where I was kind of hoping that this would be one of the competitive maps, but it just didn't get picked for it. And, you know, like I said, I haven't really played it too much. But I don't know, just a very underwhelming map. I'm very disappointed in it. Then we have whatever this map's called. Not a good map, right? It's one building, and then it's basically a circle around it, and that's about it. Like, you can't really do much in this map, so I'm very glad this is not a competitive map. Desert Siege should not be a competitive map at all, but it's not a good map either. Very limited to what you could do. Very hard to see people on this map as well. Very hard to see people this entire game, I should say. Then we have Dome, again, good public match map, but for competitive doesn't work. Another remake from, I don't remember what game, but from forever ago. Next one, Eagle's Nest. A lot of people said this was going to be the best like competitive map in the game, and ends up not being a competitive map at all. Not a good map. Lots of just destroyable cover on this map. Just doesn't really work out too well. Gavutu, arguably my second, maybe arguably my first favorite map in this game. Mainly because I kind of get to run around with an AR a little bit. It's just the kind of way I play with it. But isn't really the greatest of maps. Like, it really isn't. Like, when you look at good maps of history, you look at Standoff, you look at Raid, you look at Slums, you look at Fringe from Black Ops 3. There's lots of good maps out there that are legendary maps that you remember forever. But in the last, since what, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 area, there's not really been a lot of good maps. And this is kind of proving it. Next map. Gondola, I don't really know. This is an awful map. Definitely don't recommend playing this map at all. It's a big warehouse, and then you can ride these things, but people love to just sit back and don't really do too much of anything. Hotel Royale, awful map. Like, too much elevation change. Not enough to make this a competitive map. Mayhem, it's kind of like Shipment, kind of like DOS House. If you want fast-paced, run around with a sub, there you go. Numa, no. It just doesn't work. Again, playability is huge for maps. You look at games like Counter-Strike where they have good maps, it's because they made them good maps. They made everything about the map around how it plays. Not about how it looks, but how it plays. And Call of Duty needs to take a big lesson from that. So Numa, not a good map at all. Oasis could have been an interesting map, a possibility for search, but again, didn't really, it's just not, again, just one of those maps that just not a good map. Paradise, awful map. Way too big of a center map. No. Radar, a remake. This is also a horrible picture for this map. Another remake from, I don't remember what game, but just, again, doesn't work for this game. Red Star, arguably the worst map of all time. Lots of buildings, big open courtyard, basically just an awful map. Shipment, of course, this is always just to be a sprint around the map and see what happens. The one complaint I do have about this map in this game, and I know it's kind of how they do it, but in this Shipment/DOS House playlist, the 24/7 playlist that involves those two maps, they need to make it so there's less players. Because they make it so it's 7v7 or 8v8 on these small maps, and it's just chaos. It's just, you can't tell what's going on any of the time. And it's not even you could play at a fast pace and be fine. You have no idea what's going on, especially when people get running around with guns that 1 or 2 shot people, with fire, with all the stupid stuff in the game. It just creates for not a fun experience with so many players. The absolute max amount of people on this map should be 6v6 at the very max, and it probably should be 5v5, but typically 4v4 would probably be fine for this map. Sphere, I did try this out. First couple of games, I was like, okay, this isn't horrible, but then after I kept playing it more and learning the map more, no. It just, again, doesn't work for this game. Subpens, awful map. I don't really know what else to say about it. Just an absolute terrible map. Tuscan, one of the only maps that I can somewhat enjoy in this game. Top 3 map for sure. One of the only 3 maps I ever want to play, especially in ranked. And then you have the USS Texas, which was an awful map in World War II. It's still an awful map in Vanguard. I don't know why they brought this map back out of all of them, because now it's just going to be there for no reason. But let's get back to Bocage and kind of discuss what's going on with these maps. So we went through every single one of the maps, and we could have probably taken a little bit shorter of a time, but you went through the entire list. How many of those maps do you enjoy playing? Right? For me, it's 3, 4, maximum 5. But when you look through those maps, for me, Bocage, what was the other ones? Tuscan, basically the top 3 competitive maps are the maps that are the only good ones in this game. It's very sad to see these maps do this. Now, here's the other big problem. They add all these maps into the game throughout the year, throughout the seasons, throughout, the life cycle of the game. But then they wait too long to add in any maps, so that way they're 3/4 of the way through the game. The Call of Duty professional scene is coming to a close in, the next month or 2? Something like that, within the next 3 months. I think it's in August, sometime, where it's the end of the league. for this year, and then we'll be moving into you know, Modern Warfare 2 again, or whatever the heck we're calling it these days. But where's the good maps? Where's the updates? There's still so many problems with this game, and maps is such a huge issue. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're trying to play Call of Duty and you want the theme of Call of Duty in these maps, it's there, right? If you're looking at, you know, the tanks, the destroyed buildings, the feel of these maps for a legendary outlook on it, and you want that feel of World War II, you got it. But they're taking the looks and the feel and the atmosphere of these maps, and they're putting that priority over viability to play. And that's what's hurting Call of Duty right now. Now, I don't want to make just an absolute, you know, hate, like a hate video on Call of Duty Vanguard. Like, it did bring a couple of good, couple of... Did it bring anything good? Like, realistically, like, there's only one feature, I think, out of this entire game that I will give them credit for. And that is when you go to search in public match playlists, there's no more, like, what they used to call it, like ground war, where it's like 16 versus 16. Now they have those, what do they call them? Combat pacings. So you could play like Blitz, Assault, and I don't even know, the Tactical, I think, is the other one. So it could be a 6v6 or 8v8 or 10v10 or 12v12 or 16 versus 16 or whatever on these same maps. You could get a lot more interactions, a lot more gunfights, and the chance to drop big numbers on some of these maps. So that's probably the one and only thing that Vanguard brought to the table that I'm actually happy with. You look at that one good thing, and it's just, you look at the rest of the game, and you get a huge pile of sadness, pile of disappointment, and then we're just, again, we're stuck in this cycle where we look back at all the good things that made Call of Duty good, and the things that we should be doing by now, given that we're, what is it, 14 years or 15 years, whatever it may be, into this whole Call of Duty thing, and we still can't make a good Call of Duty game since Black Ops 2. Like, that is sad. It really is sad. And the fact that we can't come up with a new, fresh, original idea for a Call of Duty game, that we have to make Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty Modern Warfare, because we did Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, but now we did Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And then now we had a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, but now we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So let's create something original. Let's take all of our Call of Duty games from Vanguard all the way back to the original Call of Duty, preferably more recently since like Black Ops 1. Figure out what you did right, figure out what you did wrong, get rid of all the wrong, put all the right stuff in front of you on a whiteboard, and be like, alright, let's add this good stuff to the game, let's add good maps, and let's keep growing this thing and making everything a lot better than what it's been doing. Because if we're in for another year like Vanguard, yikes. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below if you haven't yet. Or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe. Turn on those post notifications so you never miss an upload. And don't forget, you can always change your mind later. But with all that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next one.